All right, hello everybody. This is the second video that I do about upgrading from ProStyler Evo to ProStyler Revelation. In the first one, I showed you that most of the time we can simply reactivate the license and it will solve the issue of upgrading. When you see the big ProStyler Revelation logo, some call it the zero, but it's the logo in fact. So if that doesn't work, because it has happened to me and sometimes lately that it doesn't work, so I don't know if that's because of the update of ProStyler or what, but I'm working locally right now, so that might be the reason as well. Anyway, I'm going to try to show you a couple of other things that you can do to be able to simply upgrade to the latest version. So I have installed one of the template cloud theme just to make it different a little bit. So it looks like that for now. And that's a ProStyler Evo, of course, template. So I'm going to update like we usually do. So update theme. All right, so I'm going to simply open my ProStyler Evo here. And it seems that everything went fine. This is usually not the case. So let's see if we have some shortcuts here that doesn't work. Here we go. So we see the bunch of shortcodes. So I don't know why here we don't see the big ProStyler Revelation logo, the big zero, as some call it. So I don't know why it's working now, but we don't see the upgrade button. So another issue. That's the first time that I see that. So let's see if we can convert the content right here. So if that works. So at first view it seems to work fine. So let's see if I refresh here. Here we go. So in this particular case it went perfectly fine. So like I said, it's the first time that it goes that well. Usually we see a big image. So I'm trying to do another one to show you a different option. So I have another installation here. My guess is with the previous one, the reason that I didn't have that big logo of ProStyler Revelation, probably because I didn't log out and log in back again. I just made a new installation for showing you, especially to show you how to upgrade. So I did everything and then upgraded. So that might be the reason. So we'll see. I did install a new version here and did log out and log in again, so we'll see if that does something different. I did import the default template this time, so let's see what I was about what surprise we'll see this time. So let's go with that. Okay, everything is upgraded. Return to update page. If I go back to my general settings here, here we go. Now we have that big logo that we're supposed to have. So maybe that's because I didn't log out, like I said the last time. So usually if we click here, nothing will happen. So as you can see, no reload, and of course right now my website will be completely mess. So I can show that to you. By the way, the reason for that is because it's using the old WR prefix. It needs to change that to ST. But instead of doing that manually, using those options here will help us a lot. Sometimes you will see that save changes that will keep on reloading. It looks like that if we click on save change, it stops doing that and it can help you do the next step, which is usually I go here and simply go to license and click activate again, and then everything is fine. So I did that in the previous video. I won't do that this time because I already have a video on that. So let's try something else. The next thing that I'm going to try is simply to reload my browser without any cache. So since I'm using Google Chrome, when I click on that here, I can refresh my page. But you will see that if let's say, the last time it did show me some options. Anyway, in Chrome and probably same thing in Firefox, if I do Control Shift and F5 instead of just F5, Command Shift I guess on Mac, it will do a hard refresh. Control Shift R, come on. So as you can see here, so some people have said we have logged out and then logging back in. And another one, somebody else did a video where we simply empty the cache and so on. I guess it's just that we need to do a hard refresh. And to do that, like I said, Control Shift F5 or Command Shift F5 probably on a Mac, will do a hard refresh. So it kinds of ignore the cache and so on. And that's probably the biggest problem here that we have. So if licensing doesn't work, or even maybe before trying to click on activate again, just try that little shortcut key, and maybe you will see it like that. And then as you can see, my upgrade content should work. Here we go. Let's see. Refresh. And sure enough, my site is working perfectly fine now. So I'm going to show you one last thing. If everything else is not working, I'm going to show you one last way that you can upgrade. Okay, so one last way if everything else fails. So if I recap, the first thing that you should try is the Control Shift F5 or Command Shift F5 probably on a Mac. If you're on Chrome, if you're on Firefox, I suppose you have something similar to that, to do a hard refresh of the browser. Or if that fails, just empty the cache, but that should work. Like I said, some people have said just logging out and logging in, but that's probably just because of that. They need to hard refresh the page. Same thing, some people have said go in a different browser. That's the exact same thing. That's just because the other browser doesn't have the cache. So if you do empty the cache or do a hard refresh, that should do the trick. If that doesn't work, then just go to activation and activate again. That should do it. And then you'll be able to click the upgrade button. If all of that fails, one last thing that you can do is simply delete the old ProStyler theme and restore the new one. Now, I know that some of you might be afraid of that because you're thinking, whoa, if I delete that, will I lose all my pages and so on? No. WordPress is built in a way that you have the WordPress files, then you have the theme, which is completely separate, and every modifications that you do when you create a new page, when you change something, is stored into the database. So if I just change my theme from one to the other, I don't lose all my changes. Of course, if you have a different theme, then you will have a different look because of the files. The files are different. But in our case, we will restore with the same theme, which is the ProStyler theme. So it will find all the needed places and everything will be absolutely fine. So of course, if you're working on a live site, then your site might be down for a few seconds, but that's not a big issue. Of course, like always, do a backup first, just in case, but everything should work fine. So let's say that I know that I've tried everything and it doesn't work. In this particular case, it's not the case. So I'm going to simply delete my theme. So I'm going to go to my appearance here. First thing I need to do, I need to switch to another theme to be able to delete that one. Then I'm going to delete it. Here we go. And then I'm simply going to upload a new one, which is the newer version. So I'd click on Upload Theme, upload my new ProStyler theme, install. Activate. And now as you can see, it strangely says that I do have an update, but I do have the version 4.03, even though it says that there's an update. So don't think that there's really an update. Probably just a little bug here. Update fail. Anyway, so let's go with the next step, which is upgrading my content. So as you can see, when I move to my ProStyler Rev, it's already activated. I shouldn't have to click activate again, but I do have my button here to upgrade the content. And by the way, if I show you just before doing that, it does the exact same thing. I do have Revelation installed with the Evo content. So of course I have my shortcut problem. So if I upgrade my content, click OK. There we go. And now everything should be fine again. So if everything else fails, like I said, just delete ProStyler, install the new version, click the upgrade button, and everything should be fine. So you should see that upgrade content button. If you don't, just go to the tools and click on convert content to ProStyler Rev, and that should do the trick as well. All right. So hope that it helps and that everybody will be able to have a working ProStyler Revelation theme. Thank you.